Well, the Archangel Michael is back online. Just check this chat filter. And there we go. I hope I find you well. I have a story to tell. A very good story. But, yes, lucky to be alive, as one would say. Evil almost won the day. I'll just check this chat to see whether it's active. No. Show every message. Should be open. Hello, Nick. How are you going? I'll put some light on the subject, eh? Oh, that's a bit better. And you know what? It's so hot. I hope it's not as humid as it is over there for you as it is here. Still 28 degrees, Nick. 11 o'clock at night. Very humid. I'm going to take the mask off. Look at this. Sweating. And, well. Oh, yeah. That's a bit better. So the mask is off. I can talk normal again. How about that? Yeah, cool over there. Yeah, lucky you. Oh, yeah, she's been very hot over here. Very hot indeed. I had to take mask off because the sweat's just running down and inside there. That's just not on. So I hope find you all good. I'll do a little bit of this Lord prayer. We'll get that out of the way, and then maybe we can have a look at what's been happening. I've been watching. I had access for 4 days after they took my phone off me. I had no internet access, couldn't talk to nobody. So yes, you don't realise how much you need these phones until they're gone. It makes me wonder I've got to step back a bit now because I've become too reliant on him. See? Even he comes too reliant on this bullshit. But truth wins out today, as they say. Okay. All right. We'll get this Lord's Prayer happening. And it's done. All right. Okay. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but to deliver us from evil. Hail Mary, full of grace. Amen. Well, now we've got God in the chat, and he's here. Oh, gee, maybe I should have done a prayer that day. Nick. This is the thing. I was actually on the phone to the chief of the police station at the time when those police rocked up. And what had happened is I was talking to the lady, and I says, have you heard about how you going? Hey, Fluffy. I said, yeah. Long time no see. Well, I said to the lady when I rang up on the phone, I said, so have you heard about finding my daughter and that? And I said, no, we still haven't found her, which is a lie. We're still looking. No, the case is ongoing. The case is still open, the case is ongoing. I said, okay. And then I confronted her straight out. I said, that's a lie, because I know that you know where the kid is. I know what's going on and everything like that. Why can't you tell me the truth? And she said, hang on a minute. And they hold on for about 3 or 4 minutes. So that's where they set me up, see. And then the chief got on, and I talked to him. He said, I come into the station. I said, well, firstly, you tell me a bit of truth first, and I'll come up and present myself to the station. And these two guys just come running straight into a pool. My nephew Josh cleared out the way. And I jumped up and think, what the fuck? They didn't even announce who they was. Yeah, my daughter, yeah. But she's all right now, because like I said, she's with Destiny. We sorted all that out. That's all being sorted out. And as they're doing more investigation, they realise, and well, they come and grab the wrong bloke. They come and grab the wrong bloke. And they treated me like I was some sort of predator or anything like that there, to my own child type of thing. That's terrible. And they got caught out lying, and it's all on record. Illegal arrest, the whole cat and caboodle. It's not looking good for them. So they've been very polite. Very polite indeed. So that's just the way that rolls, So yes, that's very interesting, that one. And I've got backup evidence, see, because to obtain their footage, you got to go through a whole process of bullshit, get remanded and all that crap. I'm hoping, if logic is logic, and they got half a brain, that judge will just sort it all out in that same day on the 2nd of December, because still got to go up and talk about these things, see, because they got all these allegations. They know now, once they've got my statement, that that ain't the case. But when they came around, they never even really told me. They didn't announce who they was. They didn't even ask who I was, right? They didn't even say why they was there. They just pulled Joshua out the way, silent, and just jumped on me. What the fuck? And then after all that, they reckon I was a public disturbance. Well, I can't see how that was right. When I explained myself, when I finally did my statement, see afterwards, like not like long ago, 2-3 days ago, they said, come around the door, knocking on the door. I said, because it was the big guy again and another detective, because they wouldn't send that little ferret detective around, right? The arsehole. Hey, I'll take him, and that's straight out. And that big ferret there come around and he said, no, sorry, Mr. Akbar, we'd like to talk to you and everything. Are you able to come up to the police station? I said, I'll come up there at 1 o'clock. And I rose, went up, presented myself. Pretty much as soon as I got there, said, you're under arrest. I said, okay. What for now? And they said, we have to put you under arrest when we get a statement off you. That's just the rules of things. I said, okay. I said, now why couldn't you do that before, if it was such an issue? See, they got caught out. The welfare got caught out not ringing the police. So they've been caught out. So they've gone very quiet. That's why my daughter was given straight to my other daughter down in Harvey. Straight away like that. Right? Yeah. And, see, they're doing a big backpedal now. So before this second comes, I might even get a letter in the mail saying we're not going to pursue the case. Even the bloody little bit of marijuana they found on me, which is the only really thing I did wrong, because it's illegal. And it wasn't much. It was a bit of bloody leaf and tip. It wasn't even buds. It wasn't even buds, Nick. It was just a bit of crud. Just a bit of chaff. Christ. But, that's kids for you. Now, if you go on the internet, you're going to see all these girls ranging from the age of 10 up to 14. And you have a look. There's an ongoing rage now where you see them taking a pickaxe to the back of their father's car, smashing phones, trying to get into their mum's room to take her purse and all that there. Same with my daughter. She's in that same category. And when I went through her tablet and seen what she'd been watching, oh my God. These kids are told not to do that Mr. Beast. Well, they're Mr. Beast mad. That's straight out. I was watching him still. And, she's no different than Kelly was. Right into that furry fandom type thing. But, kind of like the ones over in America, the real fanatic ones. No, Kelly wasn't a fanatic. They was just, having a bit of fun. But, they're real fanatic ones where they're serious about doing things. So, they all want to be adults before their time. That's as simple as that. It's like I was sitting here with my daughter Destiny, and she said, Dad, when I was with Mum, when I ran away when I was 13, see, she ran away when she was 13 too. Ended up getting the guts full of arms and legs and made me a grandfather. Well, I wasn't too happy about that, but I wasn't in control, see. Welfare had stepped in again over with the mother, because the mother was in control of her at the time. I was just the guy that was paying all the maintenance. That's one thing I always did, was pay maintenance, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Only to have the mother turn around and say, thank you, Michael, that was my drinking money. I enjoy drinking that. She was a piece, that Sharon, I'll give you the tip. But I buried her too. Did the right thing by my daughter. So she done the right thing by me. See, we're talking about this break between me and Sophia anyway, because she was just getting too monotonous with all these friends at school. And all these friends and that there, well, what can I say? You're an influence. I can't control everything the kid watches. I can't police everything. That's crazy. So yeah, they're down there, and that's all happy, you know. I said straight out to the police, well, you know what you've done, don't you? I said, because you've got this little thing in with the welfare, I'm not allowed to leave Sophia for a little while until after this court case, I say, right? So that means that I can't talk to, officially, I can't talk to both my daughters now, because she's placed down there, and my 3 grandkids. So in one foul swoop, they alienated me from my 2 daughters and my 3 grandkids, like that. Same token, I could get him out. He's only just gone to bed, though, poor boy. Poor Ryan. You know, good boy. Never have boo out of him. He's actually a really good kid. You know, he's sticking up for me all the way and having people pissing in his ear saying, oh, you got to leave your dad, got to leave dad. I said, no, I'm not leaving dad. And Sophia's talking a whole load of shit. He even got the proof at the school bloody cameras and that. When, Sophia was at school for a few days, she walked straight past him and ignored him. Now, see, that's really, really bad because Ryan came home sad. I sat with him for a little while because they've been like that together since, you know, she was born. And see like that, to hear him say that, well, and then a few days later he reckons she asked him, I says, oh, is Dad in the crazy house? And he said, no, Sophia, stop lying. And she walked up and she booted him in the knee. And that's the last little interaction they had, so. Yeah, but Destiny, trust me, my daughter's had a little bit of a talk to her. And then she's corresponding with Nan. I said, I don't want to talk to you, just in case because they probably got a lock on this phone because I only got it back today after just farting around. They reckon they had to pull out the chip because they just got to bloody go through everything and go into your fucking life, basically. And I didn't lie. I told them, I said, you're going to find a whole 3 naked pictures, right? And they're all adults on the beach, so there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to find all my content that I have, that I use, bloody stuff that I've got saved that I use on YouTube. You're going to find out I've got a YouTube. See, that's the one thing. That's why that bloody other detective never dealt with it, and they pissed him off out. Because he held his phone, and they took my stones, Nick. Yeah, I fought for them. Right? Got them back, straight back, once I started explaining what I was all about. They've even got a picture. They have to have a picture in there. And that picture's just as dangerous as the actual things. And I signed it. I've even got a set of rules that I had to write on the back for them. And they got that locked up in a safe, and no women are allowed to see that. So that's one thing they're doing. They're respecting that, because once I said that to them, they all stepped back. Right? Because that's a box of matches they don't want to light up. And just them having it in their possession as long as they did, that was, you know, very dangerous. Very dangerous indeed. But see, they didn't know what they had. They didn't know what they had. The federal government does. They never come and got me when I told them what I got. And when I actually said my statement, when they gave them back the other day, basically showed my heritage through my native title. And see, they haven't seen one of these before. A lot of Aboriginal people don't have this one, right? That's the full connection, right back, official. And yeah, they know. That's why they returned them straight back. Apology, the whole bat, cat and caboodle. And half that interview wasn't even about what they were so-called allegating against me anyway, because they reckon I raised my voice at the school, which I did, but they reckon I was a public disturbance. But I sat down there for 10 minutes with the social worker and the vice principal talking to them very quietly. So I can't see how I was a public disturbance. So that's just a bit of bullshit that chief chucked on because they were telling me lies. Instead of, I had an active case going for a missing kid. All the information's in this phone, see, and I had to keep that away from me. See, now I've got to go and present this to the lawyer when I see the lawyer and all that there. But how it's going, how they're progressing, because look, I've been told you're not going to get this phone back until after the 2nd. Well, it's here. They're not going to let you have those stones back because they're too dangerous. Well, I got them. Told them that little letter I got, that little receipt letter I keep pushing out. It's the only bit of evidence you're going to find outside of the government, right, that proves what I'm saying. Because everything's been signed off on a secrecy deal. And once I said that there, you're going to hit a stop when you go researching to see it. And that's why you're going to try and put me off as a crazy one. They went quiet about that. Because they did their research. They rang that up. That is official letter. It's not fake. So there you go. What an adventure. What an adventure indeed. All because good old Arch did the right thing. Right? By making a police report. That was the best copper of the whole lot. He was a big bloody, he had a British accent, a really big, huge bloody tats all over him, bald-headed fella. And he seen me and Ryan standing there, he said, nah. He looked at the rest of them, they were mumbling in the background, and said, nah, come here, I'll make the report. And he made the report for me. Now, he probably got bloody reprimanded for making that report, because they got an agenda over here in Australia. That agenda is to take the father out of the family. And Satan can rule the shop. Sorry, that's the whole agenda, guys. That's why Australia will not get rid of woke, and that's why Japan's just gone really adamant saying, leave the woke alone. Serious. That's been weaponised. Started off probably as a good thing, but now it's been taken and weaponised. Right? Under you. But you get that. You get that in the big mix. No, everyone's got their own opinion on things. Everyone's got their own views. But the fact is, here we go. The fact is, it's the truth. It is the truth. It's a bit overboard, a bit too much, right? You're getting taught a whole generation of kids that if they wag school, they don't get punished for it, they just get suspended. So they're less likely to be at school, right? That's the policy, the school policy. You can't raise your voice because they're all too delicate. They're all sitting in the corner there, rubbing their head like that, and you have 200 million bloody cases from all these parents, irate, I, me, empower. It's getting beyond the joke. Beyond the joke, guys. So far beyond a joke that it's no longer laughable. Right? Let's have a look here. Put this up here. Oh yeah, they charged me for resisting arrest too. Does it look like I'm resisting? He got me by one hand. One hand. See how he's got me there? I'll show you something in a minute.
That's illegal, guys. No, it's illegal. And you got proof, show us. Right now. You're not going to talk about it. Yeah, I do. Because you just tell me coming off and talking to you. Yeah, sure. And if that's the case, bro, then why don't you fucking explain it? No, don't take a phone off me. I was just talking to bloody officer now.
See, I was just talking to the chief. Now, you see where he grabbed me? Right? That's the marks there. So that's proof there. How he grabbed me. And that's fucking, that's not in the best of shape. That's out of his angle. That ended up puffing right up. You see how the bloody, this side here is all puffed up near the bloody wrist part? That ended up going 3 times the size later. As it puffed up, and I was going to go up to the bloody hospital and get that sorted out, but didn't. You got bloody bruise mark there, bloody where the cuffs and that, where he fucking twisted them. And I never seen cuffs like that before, guys. I never seen. Apparently they're the cuffs they use now, guys, in Australia. They're bloody crazy cuffs, or what they call torture cuffs, right? And they lock me like one hand here, one hand this way, and it's a straight thing, no chain. And they start fucking twisting it like that. There, boy, and like, hey, no one. Look at that. Where is this thing? You can't see that. So that's like when they put me to the ground, skim the knee. That's that knee. And you got the other knee here. Yeah, all around. That was outside there. Because just when that footage cuts off, that's when they just called the backup. And even Josh would bloody admit that. Within 30 seconds, as fast as we ever seen the police come to this street. The street went quiet. For some reason, the street was quiet for a whole week after that. I wonder why. So we was wrestling out the front there, and he started shouting out, he's crazy, he's crazy. So they rubbery scrummed me, 8 of them. It was like 8 cars and 16 coppers. And then I'm trying to pass something to Mum, and then I seen them elbow old girl out the way. Well, that was it. It was time to dance. So I did a bit of dance around, and I wouldn't let them move, and basically they had, sheer weight of numbers. Even the greatest warrior can be felled by 1,000 enemy guys. And just by the sheer weight of numbers, they basically just lifted me up. They tried throwing me in the van. They don't regular. It's a regular occurrence. It's like a procedure. They take you up to the van, and they run into it. They bang, and they hit your fucking head into the van before they open the door. And I actually said, regular procedure, is it? They fucking took their hands off me, and I got in there. Said, you's fucking very wrong what you done. You could just come knocked on a door. I would have walked out, and I would have went kindly, which is in the back of your fucking car. But they raced through the house, didn't say who they was, didn't announce who they was or who they was there for. They just looked at me, right, and jumped on me. Didn't say a word. And they ran through all my grandkids and all that at the front. There is other footage there where Josh is actually, you can hear the bloody sirens and all that out in the background. He's got my grandkids at the back there, got them 3 out there, so they don't have to see that. So you don't see that as well. And when they actually looked at that bloody footage, and when they actually looked at how it went, they realised how wrong they were. I said, he's pushed went all this way, simply for a young girl who was disgruntled because they never let her go to a Halloween trick-or-treating. That was their punishment, right? As they know now with the statement, the week before, she was suspended because we had to deal with the school, with the social workers, which I was so-called supposed to be bad at this school. There you go. Had to deal with the social workers. I sat down with 2 social workers and Sophia at the school, that if she fills out the sheet, then that's the plan. She's got to fill out the 5 lessons and once she's done that, it'll be all right. Now, Sophia, all that week, she was saying to me, yes, Dad, yes, I've been going to school. Only to find out at the end of the week, she hadn't gone to a single bit of school. So they suspended her for a week. See, the school policy is if you wag school, they just get rid of you. And Kelmscott's being one of the more prestigious public schools, if you get kicked out of that one, you're going to find it very hard that any other public school will take you. You've got to go down to the bloody delinquent one there where all the real troubled kids go. And that kid's not troubled. She just doesn't want to stick up to her responsibilities. Oh, wait up. I see you there. How you going? I see you. Right. Hello, Mary. I know Nick's here. Hello, Fluffy. I know you guys are here. Sorry. just caught up in the moment because I haven't been, I haven't even been able to contact people for so long. It's like driving me crazy. It's been a bit quiet, but it's driving me nuts. Anxiety levels fucking went right off the roof. Couldn't talk to you guys. Trying to put messages through under Sophia's name in Jag's chat and that, and people just looking at that like, because I know the climate, anyone could be trying to be anyone, but I'm glad Nick, you recognised the name. And I know you the way I talk, because that kiddo, once I said that, you knew it was me. Because you don't like it. But we're an Aussie, you know that. We've got to twist those things that we don't like just for a bit of a laugh. But yes, after all that, so we'll see how things pan out. See, after I had that interview, I said, well, there might be more charges, we don't know, because I was saying, you come here because there might be more charges. What fucking have I done now? And after they listened to me, well, and half the interview being talking about, this blood curse and what I've got to do, and I stopped. Because I told them there's a point I'm going to go to, right, because no matter what I say, you're not going to think it's believable, and you're going to go and investigate it, and you're going to hit a stop. And that's because you've got all the secrecy deals done. Before I even went online, guys, I got offered $4 million. $2 million for me and $2 million for my younger brother. When I first started going up, what is the land claim meeting? 2 years before this. Yeah. In 2021. So, I gave that up because that's what I call blood money. That's when, basically the devil's in disguise comes around sweet talking with a bag of money. First I said 2 million, and I said, well, I've got a brother. I said, 4 million. I said, no. I said, not even 400 million. And they asked me what price. And this is the price I was told to quote them from my father. I said, well, if you want this, you have to get all the men in the royal family, you have to kneecap them so they can't walk, right? And then they have to crawl across on their hands and knees, across 200 metres of broken glass and dirty syringes, and get to the pile of their jewels, right? And his king's crown, they can smash it up into a fucking 100,000 bits, spread it all through the jewels. Now that family has to eat it. And the first one that shits out a fucking full-blown fucking reconstituted crown, I'll give them it. That's the price. Or like Mum says, a flawless diamond the size of the moon. That's a fucking big price, old girl. I like that. A flawless diamond the size of the moon. Yeah, well, typical Greek. Always the money. But that's true. It's actual true fact, guys. And basically, when they did do a ring around, pretty much that government said, I think you want to give them back. Why? Because if that activates, you might find that whole police station just doesn't wake up anymore. Okay? So like I said, you're not children, men. You're adults. But when I tell you like a fucking parent does to a kid, don't play with matches, what do? You don't play with matches. And what I got told when I was a kid, the way our matches are out there, well, they can burn you worse than a box of matches. So you imagine that. What can burn you worse than a box of matches? Yeah. Almost had it, guys. They almost had it. They would have put 2 and 2 together. But I think you're going to find there's, so even though it's a Commonwealth, there's a division. See, I know Australia doesn't want to be part of the Commonwealth. I know they want to be independent. And in the politics in the main federal party, in the main federal government, they've been talking about becoming independent, making a president for a while. But the way they got their voting system set up that they want to do for it, I don't really like that. I prefer we keep the same voting system we got. We can still have a president. But they can't sail away as a country from the Commonwealth without West Australia locked in. And see, West Australia, like Scotland, is the only two countries in the world on the Commonwealth that can split away and make themselves their own country if they want to. And when it comes to GST and if the federal government doesn't pay enough to the state government, that's what they threaten. Oh, we'll just unlock ourselves and fucking sail away, turn you into a third world nation overnight, and we'll have all the wealth. And there'll be 73 nations under the Commonwealth then. See how that works? Right? So they want to try and lock WA in. So when it comes to those land claims, it was the state government that was fighting against us for 30 years. The federal government was helping us. It's the state government that loses out. The tiny little bit of royalties that we were looking for, right? They wanted that. They don't care. They want that. And that's what it is. Oh, we're going to lose out as a state government. This state government over there, they're ringing it out. They've got the troughs completely full. AAA class fucking credit rating for a state. We just finished bloody a $6 billion railway. Brand spanking new. Trying to get used to how the train whistles along, and everyone's trying to get used to how the train's up and bloody all elevated, where it never used to be. So, you know, that's the most brand new train bloody track going in the whole world at the moment. You know, that's it. That's how much money's in this state. There's that much money. And as all this money is for toil, well, it makes you wonder how we have a deficit. Because they get everything on credit, guys. They credit out the country. They know there's a reserve there of $384 billion worth of fucking ore, right? So they go to Chinese bank and they say, we'll borrow $100 billion to float what we're doing, and then over the next 10 years, we'll funnel this fucking minerals to you as the payment. And Chinese fucking, they'll turn around and they say, well, you can do that, but why don't you just sign us the lease of that place? We'll mine it for you. Okay? And we'll own that airport just up the road. We'll functionate it. We'll own that. We'll own your ports. We'll fucking run that. Australia, yep. No worries. Sitting back, just collecting the tax dollars. Meanwhile, they're on the news. They're telling us we're at war against China. China's the bad guys. China's this. China fucking runs the best beef out of Australia, straight out to Kimberley's. Right? They set it up there. They cut it up in steaks. They put them in little sandwich bags. They snap freeze it and send it straight to the Chinese army. Then you got all these little Chinese hulks there eating the best quality. Oh, the steak is that beautiful that when you smell it raw, you want to eat it. That's how nice this meat is. It's like meat, just the best meat in the world, guys. It really is. No, it's being fed fully on the wild stuff. No muddy grain, crap, or nothing. No, best meat in the world. It goes straight out the country, straight to Chinese army, and they just pull it out, boil it for a few seconds there to thaw them out, chuck them in the frying pan, and you've got about fucking 5,000 million, 100 bloody Chinese hulks there eating fucking Australian Kimberley steak. And why is that? Well, I had a Chinese guy named Gabriel. I used to work with him. He's a pretty muscly fella, and he says, you know why the difference of structure between Australians and no Chinese? He says, because you've got more of a meat diet. You eat more of that beef and you eat more of the meat, whereas the Chinese, they eat more of a vegetable diet. See, so naturally that body's going to be smaller. And see, he's a beef eater. He started getting into that, and that's why he's big. Plus, he used to do bloody workouts at the gym and all that shit. But yeah, that's what he was saying. Because I know I found it strange, like, you know, a lot of them are not very strong. When you're picking up a steel table and you got one end there, and 6 of them have to grab the other end, it's a bit rough. No, if Gabriel was there that day, me and him pick it up by ourselves, because he was just like that bolo from bloody the movies and that. He was built like him, fucking muscly bloody brick shit house. We used to be loading up bloody onions, dicing them all bloody day long. Oh, Fucking cry yourself bloody dry. That makes sense about me. Yeah, the meat. You know, we get an F-grade meat in them, and we've got a 16-year-old kid at the back fucking cutting it up for us at bloody Coles. You know, you've got to go have a good butcher. We've got the one down the road, Old Beatty's, and that's always been handed down to his next apprentice. That's been going for a long time now, and no bloke run it's just the best meat. Sometimes it's good specials, you know, sometimes a little bit more expensive, but it's the best quality meat. You know what you're getting then. You know, you're actually going to get a steak. You go to Coles, you don't know where that steak's from. And then you've got all the bones for it, and you can tell that they're using young people and ill-experienced people to cut this meat up at the back, right? Because the way they put it through the bandsaw to cut it up, it's supposed to be a certain way they do it, so you don't get the little fractures of a bit of bone that come out of the bandsaw inside the meat. Well, you find Coles meat's packed with that shit. So it's just got some 16, just cut, my thumb's gone. I packed that up too, extra weight. The meat industry, guys, oh, Christ, water is weight. You know, they got those machines when I used to work country tender fresh in the meat industry before I went up to the abattoirs up in Midland. You know, and we used to get the rolled roasts after we'd bone them, and you'd get the roast and you roll up a certain way, you put them in a net, and then put them through this conveyor belt machine, and it puts the zest in them, or the bloody flavouring. At the same time, it pumps them full of water. And there's all these bloody spikes go down, and it sits there and pumps it up, and you see a little roast like that goes in like that, when it comes out, no size like that. And then they sell that off as a 4 kilo roast, when originally you just pumped it full of a kilo full of water and spice, right? And then when you go to cook it, it shrinks back down and turns back into a bloody little bantam chicken again. What happened to that? That's all the water evaporating out of it, and that's how to get away with things. No, water's weight. It's like with the veggie industry. Once you've bloody diced up the veggies, you don't want like a 200 kilo dumper of bloody diced up onion or something. So you do that there, well, that's about 180 kilos there, and then you just pour 20 kilos of water on it. That onion soaks that water up, see? You make 20 kilos of fuck all. That's how the industry's done. That's why I know about metabolite. It's a preservative. You can go and get green meat, dip it into that, leave it there for half an hour, pull it back out, and she'll be shining red, like there's nothing wrong with it. I've seen black potatoes get chucked into that stuff, into a dip mix, and turn back to white. Right? And we've got to dip the potatoes in there. You can't, once you smell that stuff, it just about knocks you out. You know, and you've got to have a business thing, because it's like can be turned into explosive very quickly. You know, we call it a dip. We used to hate doing that, because every time you go in there, you've got to fill up a little container that you got, because you put one cupful to every 60 litres of water, and that's supposed to be, that preserves the potato, stops it from going brown and that, which you have to do. And then when it gets up to the top, they put it through another solution. Veggie's got to go through a chlorine solution, guys. It's very weak, right? It's in a liquid form, and they've got to put it through a dip solution, and that stops a lot of that gets rid of all your bloody pests and all that there. The way your veggies are processed is not how you're thinking. Right? They've got to be washed and all that there, like that there, because you've got people touching them. Everything's done with gloves, and it's got to go through a preservative process all the way through, especially when you're dicing it up. And you've got to bloody write down what dates and all that, and that's just terrible. So yeah, I've been sitting there for 16 hours peeling potatoes, and you go out the back, and they've got these potatoes from Sumich, of all people. You know, and they got Sumi to give it to him for free. Yeah, you know why? Because when you go to the back, you put your hand in and it goes in. Oh no, and that's a bad smell, and it's like white snot, and it's not good. And you got to clean all of them up and chuck them in the rumbling machine, and oh God, crazy, the food preparation industry. I'm quite surprised what they do, right? How they do things. With that chlorine mix, this is how silly they stuffed up one time. They've put up the bloody drip too much. Now, if you put it up too much, it turns into vapour. You know chlorine gas, they used that in the World War I on the trenches. right? And what that does is it blisterates the skin, and then you can't breathe. It starts liquefying the lungs. And I'm hearing all this bloody screaming, oh, like I said. I open up the bloody, because they're all working in the big giant fridge. I open up the door, and there's all this mist in there. And the first thing it did was got to my eyes. I said, everyone get out. And there's like 70 little bloody Oompa Loompas in there. I shouldn't say that, but that's how I know. They're little chalk, but all these little ladies in there, all 4 foot high. But they all come running out, and they're all grabbing the eyes and everything like that. They're already, oh, what's going on? What's going on? I said, get out. And got everyone out. And that's what had happened. She had gassed up. Because someone went around and messed around with the settings, see, and that's when they had a big meeting. No one was allowed to touch that. It was only me, Chris, the manager, and it was Shane. That's it. The three of us blokes allowed. No one else was allowed to go and touch those settings, because otherwise it'd vaporise up and nearly killed them all. I mean, now some of them got blisters like bloody. They actually had a few work combo cases, but some of them got blisters like sunburn. That's how bad chlorine gas goes, and they was all working. And they was all sitting there, not totally oblivious that they was all going to be dying soon. That's crazy. But yeah, that food industry, she's a dangerous thing. She's dangerous. Very dangerous, and you'll be quite surprised, like I said, how they process your meats and how they process your vegetables. You're very surprised, right? But some of it's done in a spun out way, as like professional, and humane. You find these ones that owned animals and that. You do a bit of documentary on Australian animals, how they with the animal slaughters and all the puppy farms and stuff like that. It's not good for some of them. But you'll find the majority of farmers out there are not like that. Okay? I don't like the idea that we put animals in a shed. They don't see the light of day. Most of those cows and that we're eating at Coles and Woolies and our big chain supermarkets, right? That's where they're fed. They're grain fed, so the meat's weak and flappy, right? They don't see the sunlight. And they're lucky to be alive, 2 years max? Feed them up until they get to bloody chopping size. That's crazy. And then you go and get yourself a nice big grass-fed bloody bull that's had 5 years in the paddock, getting nice and fat, and you eat them, and oh my God, you taste the difference. You're actually eating meat then, not something that's been manufactured like as a product. Now I know we've got to eat. I know we've got to store things, right? That's a fact. But those animals, right, even though we might have dominion over them because that's what God says, we don't have to be fucking cruel. No, they deserve something like the chicken industry. That's the one. The RSPCA approved emancipator, which is basically a metal grinder. Little small metal grinder. You put metal in and it grinds it up to bloody strips. That's how they get rid of the male chickens at birth. They'll have a girl as old as Sophia, farm girl, because they're used to that stuff. Go over, pull out the tray where they've been incubating them inside a big incubator, right? And they'll have 100 eggs in there, and there'll be 100 chicks in there. Now, all the females have been genetically bred to have a red mark feather in their cap. So they'll pull all the females out and put them there, and all the rest are in the tray. Now, they all do looking up. Only just hatched out the egg, all the eggs and that is in there with the bloody baby male chicks. Looking at, quite innocent. And that girl just go and just dump straight on the conveyor belt. And you know where that conveyor belt goes, don't you? Goes straight up to that fucking metal grinder, which is a RSPCA approved emancipator. And that's where you used to get that pink meat thing from fucking Kmart. Well, not Kmart, bloody McDonald's. Remember that pink meat scam? They still do that. They just bleach it now. And then it's manufactured at another place, so they come there all pre-printed. It's what they do. So all the hay, a little bit of hay, the eggshells, those chicks, straight in, boop. They don't know what's happening. They don't even get a chance at life. And we devalue life like that so much, to make profit? Well, that's the ill gain for us. It's not a good thing, guys. It says in our Bible, eventually those animals are going to turn up against us. So we keep pushing them like we're pushing ourselves. Got all these sides and factions happening. Something's got to snap. Terrible in America at the moment. Over here in Australia, it's not that bloody good. Mao, he got no say no more. Some men have. And then blokes like me, regular Joes, no, they got a bit of a message. They got no chance, but they fucked up. Because they thought I was a mental case. And then when I show them, I keep showing them that thing. If I was a mental case, there's no way in the goddamn world that federal government would have sent me fuck all. In any form, in any shape. They would have sent the guys around, put me in the white truck and put me in the padded cell. No? Haven't been there yet. No? I know it's hard to believe, but that's it. I keep telling you, if God, whether he's real or a concept of the human mind for a control factor, well, they wrote up that Archangel Michael in that book. He's an idea. And it takes someone to stand up to be this idea, to be that archangel that you read about. Just so happens I've got the fucking rest of it other than the wings and the so-called halo. But you've got that wrong too, see? That's the metal helmet. And that's the shine you're seeing off that. The oldest depictions and pictures of Archangel Michael have him as a metal battle helmet, guys. It's more of a round top. So you can lie like that and the sword would shear off. Saves the neck. Otherwise you've got to have broad things in the neck. And you can't fight when you're going to move around like that. No, you can't be in a Darth Vader suit where you can only lift your arms fucking so high. Fighting in a full night suit is pretty hard, you know. You have a look how they built those night suits. They didn't build them with bloody places where they can go to the toilet. Right? Because if people found out that, they'd just do that latch and stab them up the bum or stab them in the private part. That's to take a night straight away like that. Right? They used to shit in those night things. They talk about how they used to smell the Templars coming. Each country of nights, you could smell which country it was on the way coming because it'd fall down and accumulate the boots. This is a fact. You know, they were like the walking dead. They're in armour. They've got to be in armour for 3 weeks because if they take that armour off at any time, right, they can be, they could be, attacked. So that armour was a protection thing. They used to go 3 weeks at a time without taking that armour off and rubbing against all those things and all the sores they get, and the flies get in and the maggots get in. They were walking smelly death pits, almost like zombies, some of them. That's your nights. No, they weren't so regal and all shining and all that. No, they stunk. It's hard to go to the toilet in a night suit. You go around and actually look at a proper night suit, you tell me where the flaps are so you can go to the toilet. Because there ain't none. Right? And usually they've got to have 2 people helping you put that night suit on, so it's not easy to just quick unzip and then you go to the toilet. You go in your suit. Well, you hope there's a river nearby and it's got a good flow in it, you sit in that. But if you do that, then your suit will rust. See, they used to stink. And that stink used to be that much to actually drive down to me away. They wouldn't fight these people because every time I hit them, they'd fucking stink. That's your nights. That's your so-called, or your holy nights. They used to stink. Right? It's part of their fucking armour. Hey, Garen, so I see people there. Like I said, I'm just so excited, guys. I'm just not reading at the moment, trying to get out what's going on in my head. Thanks for coming, guys. It's most appreciated. Or ladies. It's very appreciated. I hope it's like we're calling you ladies. It's getting that freaky now, you don't know what to say to anyone. You know? I just think, well, we're going to do that. We'll just call each other our names. That's the best way to identify everyone, because that's what you're given as an identity. You know, what's your identity? I'm Michael, the Archangel. That's my identity. That's Nick Mountain Goat. You know? There's something about Mary. That's your identity, isn't it? If we start taking all this race and sexuality out of an identity, we might go somewhere, guys. We're given a name to make our identity. Or otherwise, I'm called XX7, you're XS20, and that's XX94. You know? And then you got this another one there, why fucking this and why that and why do we have to do any work and how come it can't be all ready for us to jump in with our shoes on? And that's what these young ones want. You find, and a lot of these young ones under the age of 25, they want that nowadays, where they just, oh wow, so fucking far from reality. It's unbelievable. They want everything set up for them so they can just jump straight in with their bloody shoes on and everything's done for them. They don't want to do the hard yards to work for things. They want it. They think they earn it, they deserve it. That's how the carry on is. And you've got the government, the welfare, they just saying, that's what we want you to think like. Yes, we want that. We want that breakdown in family. We want that. Secret, they play it off as doing good by us, guys. But really, that's a secret agenda. A terrible secret agenda down here in Australia. Same in England. And in America too. Just a bit differently fashioned. You know? Differently fashioned. It's terrible. Terrible. Terrible, Muriel. Terrible. So yeah, that was the binding of Archangel Michael the Archangel. Why? Because he exposed that people don't tell the truth. Now, they asked the AI about all the police and the laws around the world, and it individually did everyone, and it come back with the same answer, especially the westernised countries. It said the police and the court system deliberately lies for efficiency. That's the AI worked that out. The AI says the police and the court of law deliberately lie for efficiency. Oh, home. I want this to get sorted out, Nick, because I can't really travel like I want to do, and I want to go and earn myself a lot of gold, or pick up a little bit of gold for Christmas, hopefully. Hopefully find a spot where, well, maybe I'll never have to fucking work again. That would be nice. I know they're out there. I've been out there before and I've found nuggets and that, so it's just a matter of getting out there. Well, I've got all this hassle on with his kids and all this bloody crap going on, and it's not just to do with her too. It's got to do with what I do online. They took the phone off me, right? They never really went for my phone, right? Never really went for my phone because I can't see anything change other than the font changes. And they change the font anyways. That changes when you take the SIM card out. It always goes back to the original. So they just take the SIM card out and they just copy the SIM card. Now it's taken them fucking 2 weeks to do that. And that can be done in 20 seconds flat. Because, they got all different parts, tech guys and everything. And like I said, I've got nothing to hide. That's why I gave them the petty PIN number to get into it and everything. I've got nothing to hide. The one good thing about it, them doing that, they had to get rid of that virus, see? And I told them it's got a virus in it. It's a Trojan horse virus that I got from bloody YouTube when I accidentally touched one of the Temu ads. I said, oh, you got a virus, and I touched that, and that's when I actually put the virus in when you touch bloody to try and get rid of it. That's the trick. Because every time it says, we got some way to get rid of it, that's a Trojan horse. You touch that and you open up another virus, see? That's why it keeps going. So you don't touch it. You pull the battery out and all that shit. So that's one good thing. But they probably got this bugger tapped, this buggery. That'll be a given. So they have this hooked in there that I'll be able to listen to everything I'm doing. They know everything I'm doing. No, that's not. I'm not stupid about that. But they realised and they went through a lot of effort for a young girl that just didn't want to own up to wagging from school and wants to be an adult before her time. Gee. Oh, wow. Wow. So you're a single father, right, having kids, unless you're very wealthy and know people in the know, well, unless you have a shoelace, all bloody, one shoelace out of place with your children, and they'll jump all over you. Now, instead of actually coming to you saying, oh, we want to help you. We've got this, this and this. They offer you no help. They just attack you. Now, if I was a woman and it was Kelly and I died of cancer and Kelly was the one that was alive, they'd bend over backwards and help her. Fact is, in Australia, if a single father was on the street and needed housing for him and his children, right, there's no such thing. There's no welfare place or even a help place that will do that. There's plenty for women to go there with their kids and stay out of unit until they get back on their feet. But you know what they say to the father? They say, we can put you in that men's refuge over in Midland with all those other criminals and drunks. We'll take the kids and put them into welfare and put them in a foster home. Right? Whereas they'll go and place the mum and the kids as no proper venues because they've got no venues for a single dad and his kids to stay. All right? Even though those rooms you get are 2-bedroom little apartments that you get, right, self-contained, because it's a men's facility, they won't allow children there. And there is no facility that houses men and children together in the welfare or the government or privately or any fucking thing. You know? And that's the fact. Now, if a man got caught living in a tent with his kids, they'd do that to him. They'd force that one on him. Oh, you can live in a tent, but we're taking the kids. But a mum, she can live around in a tent like that there and spend her whole pay on fucking ice. No? Just laying whack with a boyfriend on the iPhone while the kids run around fucking strides hanging down, no fucking food. Not going to school, but they get away with that. They're allowed to in this country. You want me to really go and film shit? The fact that people see I can't do that because people put cases up against you because you're showing the truth. Oh, you can't show me how desolate I am, but you're a junkie. You shouldn't even have kids. But if you did that, you'll be the one in court. That's how it goes. That's Australia. Unfortunately, that's how it is. No, my nephew Josh, he's gone through the same thing. This is what happened to him. They were driving in the car. She just picked him up on his payday, of course, so he can see his 2 boys, right? And maybe patch up a little bit of relationship between them, right? Well, he was talking to her and everything, and she didn't agree with something he said. And she said, I'm taking you to the police station. He said, look, don't take me to the police station because if you're going to be like that, we'll cut this relationship and you're just dead to me, right? Oh, she went and told the police he threatened to choke her, kill her and fucking all that. And the police took her word. And he stood there, what? Yeah, like that. Drove into the police station, said he threatened to choke me. And now this poor bloke's got to go to court and everything, and he didn't. No? So they take their word, clean over, no? And that spun out because once he got his money, that was right. And then he's in there, and still got it. He's learnt now. He's changed it all now. They had all their stuff still joint, through joint phones and joint accounts and everything. So he's in lockup, poor bugger. When he gets out, he's thinking, oh, I'll go and get myself a 6-pack to deal with that little problem I went through. Only to find out his bank account's been fucking milked dry. No? So, yeah. And if he complained about that, what's he going to do? Oh, well, that's your problem, they'll say. So it's getting pretty hard. I don't know why. No, some blokes are just having it really hard and some blokes just got it really easy. So I don't know why that is, but that's happening in Australia more and more. Look over in the eastern states there, I think it's Victoria, one of those bloody cunt states there, where they've got a position where they a behaviour for men minister, and it can only be fucking ministerised by a female. So they've got a whole state in Australia that the men are now subject to fucking subject to what a woman says they have to behave like. So they lost their rights there. Supposed to be equal opportunity. Technically on paper, we've got the same rights. But in reality, men are losing access to those rights. And they haven't even started with the family law courts yet. No? Family law courts is another ball game. My experience with them was, my oldest son, who's 33 this year, I've been looking after him since he was 5, because his mother just basically signed him over to myself at the family law courts. Wanted nothing to do with him. She has never seen him since. And that's not my fault. That's her fucking choosing. That little mind going tangent. That's how that was. Crazy. Crazy. So that's the one time we actually did work out. Man in charge of making all these rules up. Well, I don't know. This is the thing. I don't know, Nick. That's what I'm saying. Some men seem more privileged than others. Now, from my end of the view, I take you around the street, just about every bloke will tell you pretty much the same story. They get shafted. They don't get their say, and they feel wronged. It's getting worse and worse. Yeah, that's the part that confuses me. They make those rules, but are they changing? Things are changing. You're quite surprised how they manipulate things. And the ones in the welfare, the ones in the police, the ones in the politics, they all carry. Sorry about that. Trying to reconnect there. Yes, they carry on about. No, things are changing. And it's done in a way that I know you're confused. A lot of men are making these rules, but why? What's their agenda? What's their agenda? Look at it. I know Trump, he's an arsehole. He's going off at the moment, and people want him impeached. I haven't quite checked out what he's been doing lately. But when he got into power, this country fucking hated him. No, the governments, both governments, no, he's an idiot. We don't want him. We rather Biden and Kamala in, because they had that woke fucking ideology, see? Woke ideology accesses your children. Okay? Children should not be sexually active, even thinking of a sexual identity, before the age of 10. Why are we doing this as a society? That's pedophilic. Right? That's evil. That's an evil agenda. It's called desensitisation. And they're doing it in such a way that you're just not even aware of it. Like I said, the message, she been robbed. She been fucking used for a whole different tangent of things. Those ones that make the rules at the top, well, who are they? What white parties do they go to? Strange, welfare's in charge of a lot of children, but every time we hear about people that have been in the welfare thing, like your good buddy that's just in Perth here. Look at all the problems he's gone through because he was in the welfare. My daughter could tell you some of the same things. In fact, if you went into all these people that have been orphanised out by the welfare, you'll find 75% of them are more likely being interfered with and touched while under the welfare's care than anyone else. And this is a fact. Child goes into welfare, they're 3 times more likely to be interfered with. That's a fact that they don't like to bring out in the court. Right? You tell me that. That's the statistics. Everyone you know that's been in the welfare system has got to take tablets, is having problems, has got to take fucking medication, still being fucking fed by them because they fucked up, housed by them because they fucked up, and they're full-blown adults, no longer children. Happens more often than you think. This is an incarceration, an prisoner island. No, Rottnest Island is the island. There's a prisoner island, This is a prisoner island. That army and police force we've got is not for protection. It's to fucking keep us in. Australia likes that power. And with that woke ideology, they can enforce such a power over us that we can never stand up and defend ourselves. And Satan, he just steps right on in. Desensitises you all, and all of a sudden, it's legal, like in Japan, to marry 12-year-olds. That's what it is in Japan. Legally allowed to marry a 12-year-old girl. They're going to take it down to 9. Right? And they're carrying on, don't. If you go, come here, anti-woke, we don't want you here. Point blank. Why? Because it allows that. And you have a look at their culture. They recognise the culture. All the men, they like those young girls in the school dresses. They like, that's part of the culture. Okay? That's accepted. That's part of the culture to marry 12-year-olds. Soon it'll be 9. Soon it'll be 5. Right? And then you've got these ones that are fucking chomos. Right? Pedos. They say, I was born that fuck way. No, you're fucking not. No one's born anyway. You're born a free will unit and all the fucking essence of things. It's everything around you when you come out that womb. That's what programs your fucking brain to what you're going to be. So you can get that right out the nation. Right? Been a dual study done on that. Worldwide. There's no homo gene. There's no straight gene. There's no any fucking gene for sexuality. Except the XX and XY, which determines whether you're a female or you're a male. And that's it. Everything else is psychological. You learn that when you come out. When you come out of the womb, all you know is pain and that you're hungry. And the only response you know is to cry. You don't know you don't even know that you're alive. You don't concept the reality of that you actually are a being till you're about 3. You start working out that I exist. Shit, that's me in the mirror. By the age of 5, you've probably got a programmed sexuality. Could take up to the age of 10, depends on how quick the kid develops, what the environment is around them. It's the product of the environment around you, the people around you, and how you absorb things after you're born that determines what sexuality you're going to be. No one's born nothing. That's what the whole essence of free will is. Everyone is born into this world a free will thinking unit. A child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. It's like a trouble sometimes. It makes you wonder how I keep from going under. That's a fact. And he sees those panhandlers down the street when he's getting older, making all that money. He wants to be like that. Oh, look, you like pretty boy Floyd, eh? Look what you done did. Got sent up for a 10-year bid because you stabbed some cunt trying to rob him. All gangster now, eh? Wind up dead. Hanging yourself after you've been an undercover faggot for a fucking few years. That's just it. That really makes me angry, that one. Male on male rape in jail. Because that's what it is. Right? That makes me terribly, terribly angry. When you go to jail, they say, if you play with yourself, that's called self-abuse, especially if the guards catch you doing it. That's 30 days without canteen spend, so you can't buy any cigarettes for 30 days or anything like that, or any of your drinks or any shit you get, right? An extra 30 days sentence on top of your sentence. It's called self-abuse. Yet they'll have condom machines in the actual prison system where you can abuse your cellmate's bum. And apparently that's all right. But you can't self-relieve because that's self-abuse. That's crazy, man. The fact that I seen condoms in the prison system at all just fucking freaked me right out. Beyond fucking all belief. But they do. They do. Crazy. I would have thought when I first went in there years and years ago, when I wasn't supposed to be in there, but I was, I thought that man on man rape, well, anyone that does that, they should be flogged. That's just wrong, Come on now, I can understand on the outside world, if they want to relate shit like that, then that's their prerogative, but not like they had it in jail. And people go mad for it, like crazy. It's just crazy. Crazy. Some people do crimes, but they need to be punished, yes. But some people that just do fucking regular crimes get put in those jails for those bloody crazies like that. That ain't right. No, that ain't right. And all these ones that are getting done, touching these kids that we see on the news, especially in Australia, all these bloody child protection, they all got to be approved by bloody welfare. Every single one that deals with a child has to be approved by welfare, has to have a full police clearance to be able to work with kids at all. So, if anyone dropped the fucking ball, how they get access to all those kids at those daycare centres, it's the welfare and the government, because they sign off on them. That's who fucking puts them in there. That's who lets them in there. Okay? And when that starts happening, what's the first fucking thing they're going to do? We're going to take all the fucking males out of early fucking child learning. So those kids are not going to have any male presence in the learning facility up until the age of 8. Okay? You understand that one? See how that's going there? Take the father figure out the situation, and Satan, he can roll straight in and fucking take the rest. I'm sorry, but these girls are too blind to see that's happening. Too blind, too self-centered, too empowered. You've been in power for how long? It's been equal rights. You fucking haven't learnt nothing. Let it go to your head, and you're blindly letting these things happen. Sorry, it's a fact. Someone's got to tell you. Now you have a look what's on the internet now. This pisses me off too. When I finally get access to YouTube, I'm seeing all these AI. I mean, I do my AI, but I'm seeing all this AI of these fat people. And then they're doing a lot of American black people. Eh? Fat. At the bloody fucking carrying on about their food stamps and that. Making it look like, and to me, it looks like racism fucking at the most utter. But YouTube's letting that play fucking freely. It's one of the main fucking things running over YouTube at the moment, especially the site, no, what's coming to me. I thought fat shaming was a fucking bad thing, but apparently that's back again, which is a good type of thing. Because when Satan invented that fat shaming, brought that in, we know how to fat shame, well, he allowed gluttony to run fucking free. And look at the size of everyone fucking now. Everyone stinks. Get around the size of fucking 10-ton fucking Tessie. Expect to pay a fucking tiny fucking little price for something when it's as big as a whale. Trying to claim they're big bone, there's no such thing as 7 people on the whole earth that actually suffer from big bone disorder. And they're actually skinny and they're not fat. Right? Look at all these people. How do you fucking manage to get like that? All these excuses in the world fucking you're going to pull out. Oh, do you start out? No. You just live an unhealthy fucking life and you're trying to make up bullshit for it. Get with reality. Get with fucking reality. The reality is that a big fat person is not very pretty. Often you find they can't wash their back, so they can't smell behind them. They stink when they walk past them in the shop. You got gamers that are fucking full-on gamers, sit in their room, smell them, not washing them for 3 days, and they get up and come walk through the shopping centre, and you're supposed to accept that, especially if he wants to walk through wearing a pink boob tube, saying he's a South Korean non-binary. This is what we have to do. We have to accept his fucking delusion. His mental case. But that's acceptable. See how society is? Do you really want to live in society like that? This woke thing. Because that's how far your woke's going. It's going for your kids. That's where they want. They already got into my kid. She's gone now. That's it. I'm lucky I got a backup supply down there with my fucking oldest daughter, because she learnt. Alright? As far as I know, that kid's not doing any of that shit no more. She doesn't have internet access. She's got a phone, but Destiny doesn't allow her kids to have internet access. Right? So she can't have all that bullshit that she was, the influence. Like I said, the shit that I seen she was like, oh my God. Like that hell of a boss. People might like that cartoon. But it's fucking Satan having a fucking gay relationship. Come on, guys. And you're fucking glorifying Satan having a gay relationship? They do with South Park. You glorify a pedophile when you have a Family Guy on. That's allowed to air all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's desensitisation. That's what Satan wants to do. He needs to desensitise you, this here, and he put that final initiative and fuck up the entire fucking creation of life. Okay? You got initiatives, guys. That Pride initiative, that's his fucking plan. He stole fucking God's rainbow and gave it and used that. Now that rainbow, what does that represent? It doesn't represent love. That doesn't represent fuck all. Other than God's promise that he's not going to touch the earth again, because if he does, he'll fucking destroy it. That's all it means. Right? It's a shield. And Satan stole that shield, manipulated into all the colours and all the fucking different types of things we are. You know what? If I reckon you're going to represent your movement, community, it should be a purple eye. Just a purple eye. That's it. Simple. Nice. Easy. Don't have to go and rob God for his fucking shield. Eh? Looks all colourful and flamboyant, yes. Of course it does. Fucking, that's called mesmerisation. Having all those colours in front of you, so you don't know which one to look at. Got you all separate. You know? I thought we're all one. One big fucking humanity. By making you fucking like you got all your different races now, you got people. You got all these different sexes. No, you got two, but you got a lot of different thought patterns. There's only two sexes. You put them all the different sexes that you got, put them in a seed container challenge. Which one's going to have a baby? Which configuration has that baby? Man and a woman. After 10 months of being in that seed container, more likely they come out with a baby. Like I said, two blokes can't shit out a baby. Two ladies can't lick out a baby. Non-binary can't fucking split down the middle and turn into two. Right? Because they breed asexually. Otherwise, if you're a non-binary and you can't breed at all and you don't breed at all, then you're fucking nothing. You're not going to exist. There's no progress. That defeats the purpose of fucking life in itself. Because life in itself is procreation and the continuation of that fucking genetic strain. So if you're going to be a non-sexual and not touch nothing, you're not going to spread that gene, well, fucking just eradicate you. You'll just eradicate yourself out of fucking history. That's not our fucking fault. You want to think that way? The whole idea of life is procreation. Continuation of your own fucking genes. Not about your fucking self. Right? Not about yourself. That's selfish. That's vanity. If life's about yourself, then you're going to be worried about your fucking self all the time. You'll never be worried about anyone else. That's called vanity. That's your vainness. You know, wanting to live forever, wanting to be beautiful, wanting to be young. That's vanity. Told people, you want to live forever? Go ahead, live forever. After 300 years, everyone will fucking ostracise you because you've got longevity that they have. Now, they either tell you to piss off or they'll chop you up so they could fucking try and work out how they live that long. Now, after 10,000 years, you'd be fucking very alone, probably very crazy because no one talks to you. After 1 billion years, well, if humanity's still here, right? Probably not. You'll wander around alone. And when this sun is supposed to blow up in 4.5 billion years, turns into a big red giant, fucking blows up the Earth, and you're immortal, see, because you're living forever, see, across the side of the fucking galaxy, you're floating through space. Now, you can't scream, because there's no air in space to scream. So you're floating there for billions and billions of eons, and billions of centuries. And over the passage of time, right, all the stars start going up because they run out of fuel. Or because of the distance of drifting apart, you just can't see them no more. And in the end, you living forever with all your vanity, what have you got? You can't breathe. You never sucked in oxygen for fucking billions of eons because there's no air in space. You can't scream for help because you can't scream in space. You find you won't even be able to hear yourself think. And it'll be just you and the void. That's your fucking eternity. And that's the only way you're going to ever live forever. See, God is the only one that can live forever. Because he can traverse that plane. You can't. That's your vanity. Everyone's got a certain time period clocked into their fucking head. Sometimes you can make it last a little bit longer by what you put into your body. Or sometimes you can make it not last that long as all. Something could scare you and take the calibration out of your life, scare 10 years off you. You ever heard that saying? Oh, it scared 10 years off my life. It's not just a saying, guys. It's a thing. It's like, we all fall down, a tissue. It's a thing. In the 16th century about the plague. And we play those little kids game. All your nursery rhymes trace to where they come from. What's the story of Hansel and Gretel? What's the story of Hansel and Gretel, There's a message behind that. And that's what they're doing to the kids now. This YouTube. It's like a gingerbread house. Mr. Beast and all those guys and all the still up the top, still the top content creators, and yet there's nothing but controversy about what they've been doing. They treat the people like shit. They've got all these things with kids dealings. It's very underhanded. It's all paid hush-hush because when you can go out and chuck out $250,000 as a prize money, right, and you're earning billions of dollars for YouTube and for yourself, they leave you alone. Now, D4VD, or that David dickhead, one that's been charged or allegedly going to be charged for Celeste Ramirez Hernandez, missing 14-year-old that was found in a Tesla. I have one question, guys, right? She definitely was knocked off, because where's the fucking arms and legs? She didn't crawl in there by herself. What did they do with the arms and legs? Screams sacrifice and screams of eating it. Right? Seriously. When you got Jag talking about those things happening in history, we don't really talk about them now. But it'll come out, it'll come soon. All those white party things, all those debaucherous things, all that bloodletting, all those kids that they do. Really happens. Happens on a grand scale. Your governments are in fucking control of a lot of it. Right? Your government's in control of your welfare. I mean, look at America. I'll just do America as an example. You let, 17 million people across the border before Trump got in. Out of that, there was 3 million kids that were housed into foster care that the government's paying for, but they don't know where they're housed. So why would you be paying for someone and you don't know where they are? Then you see 4 planes are supposed to put all these refugee kids, 22,000 orphans from Ukraine, got on a plane. Those planes never landed yet. Where they landed? No one ever seen them land. You got Assad, was the butcher of fucking Syria. No, tyrant. They actually, they're out trying to ask if they can get war fucking crimes against him because all these body pits find hundreds of thousands of people in there, but they can't find any kids because he sold them off, see? And you watch when he got taken out of power, the first thing he went to doing, shaking hands with the king, shaking hands with Biden, shaking hands with Trump, shaking hands with all your fucking big major fucking white fucking party cunts all around the world, even our guy. Oh, yep, Saudis, we like him. We want him back in power back over in Syria, so he can keep selling those kids to us. And what's good about kids? Organs, blood, the sex industry. Back in the day when they were selling slaves, right? You think slaves were cheap? You think slaves were cheap in the slavery days in America, right? How much would they sell a strong black man for? Equivalency of $193,000 today, right? Back then they were probably selling him for 15,000 American dollars. Go have a look at the trade auction, how much they were paying, how much money these people were worth. They weren't just fucking giving them a couple of dollars, weren't just $5 or fucking 5 nickels for that person, no. 5,000 was the smallest price you could pay for a slave. $5,000, right? Because that's a commodity. It's like a business, that slave. He can do so much work. He can live for 30 years, and each one of those years he's going to earn this much, so that slave's worth this much if you're going to have him. That's a fact. So don't think slaves were cheap. Slaves were fucking money. That's the reason why they kicked up and had a war. It's not so much that they fucking were losing out on free labour. They were losing out on fucking economic wealth. Each slave was worth $200,000 fucking dollars. You worked that one out. And you got 20 slaves, 40 slaves, 100 slaves in your field, and now they're going to be free? How poor is that fucking rich cunt? On paperwork. See? That's why they took that. They had a war over that one. And they worked it out at the end, right? Oh, yeah, stop that slavery of racial slavery. Yes, we'll stop that. But we'll invent fucking slavery nonetheless. They call it fucking wageable slavery. When you go to school, they teach you that you got to fucking learn, get yourself a good job, save, and that's how you go forward. At school, they should be teaching you how to generate money, not how to make money, how to generate money. Entrepreneurs generate money. Rich people generate money. Regular people work for money. And are told not any other way how to do it. Those calculators at master, you're just learning how to do the sums, you know, how you're going to pay the government, the banks, your taxes, and keep working for a living. Then they fucking give you this bullshit retirement crap, right? They tell you when you're going to retire. No, at that age you retire, and you know, you fucking set up this whole system to make you think, oh yeah, no, it's not. How much money does those insurance companies and those retirement companies make when you're putting away your superannuation? How much fucking money do they make off your dollar? And then you get a little pissy fucking return at the end. Even though they say, oh, it's the best return going, you've got this here, you got there. No, it's only if you keep putting it. Basically, it's a savings account, and it's an aggressive account. And that's all they are. They take all the profit, take all the fees, take all the fucking everything. Give you the semblance that you're going to fucking retire. And that's good. Oh, yeah. Or is it that they worked it out on the books, you're not fucking worth much anymore? So they're just going to physically retire you. I've got some people out there that don't want to retire. Refuse to retire. You know, some people out there never fucking worked a day in their life. You'd get around in all the flashes gear going. Doesn't make sense sometimes. Doesn't make sense. And then, well, OnlyFans. What can I say about that? What can I say about that? You've got a whole fucking, wow, almost a whole fucking planet, a whole generation come up thinking that's all they can do for a fucking job. That's crazy, man. Lay back, spread eagle, pummel myself with a veggie for $5.99 fucking for every fucking view. And look how many some of them make. Look at the pedophilia with that, with your OnlyFans. That young one, how her and her brother were betraying her before she was 18, and the moment she turned 18, what she make fucking on OnlyFans? Once she chucked a bloody naked picture of herself up, and blokes fucking have been waiting around for that till it turned 18? Like fucking savage, fucking cruel, bloody fucking vultures. $6 million in fucking 3 hours. That's how filthy the fucking world is. You know, that's filth. Every one of those people that paid that, right, should have been investigated, dragged out in the street, and shot. Now, it sounds pretty cruel, but that's how you fix the problem. You don't fucking you don't sit there and try to work out how we can integrate that and fucking that thinking in society. You don't lock them up and try to work out how much they, okay, right? You want to fucking allow this fucking thinking that you can be whatever you want and you're born a certain way, all right? We'll run that fucking narrative. We'll roll with that narrative. So those tamps, they're born that way, right? Because that's the way everyone else thinks they're fucking born into the world. with the woke business and their ideologies and the way they think their sexuality is. When I told you, you're fucking born a free will unit, you don't even know what a fucking sex is, right? But you just want to run this way. We'll run your little fucking imaginary, right, delusionary narrative. Right. You're born that way. So we allow fucking them to touch your kids now because they're born that way. And they're naturally born that they want to fuck kids. Ain't it simple? Right? And you accepting this. Right? Because that's the way this fucking world is running. That's the narrative that we're running. Everyone's born that way, remember? When I told you you're not. Right? So we're born that way. We're all born that way, right? So we allow that. What does that do then? How is that rolling for you now? If fucking it's good for one, it's got to be good for the other. It's called equal opportunity, right? And look what message and look where they're fucking infiltrating and what group they've attached themselves to fucking allow this to happen. The community. Where they're coming through, a lot of them are actually transgender themselves. You know? Come on. And you've got to accept that. See? That's desensitization. That's what they're fucking doing to the world. Right underneath your eyes. That's why I say woke is Satan's work. Pure evil. Right? You can be a sexuality. There's no problem. I don't have any problem with that. You're going to have to take it up with God when you pass away, and you might have to redeem the way you was down here, and you still go to heaven. That's just it. You're just going to have to ask a few questions. But the best way it was said, guys, was by an old nun, old Catholic nun. I forget the old woman's name, right? Very old nun. And she was asked a question. She used to have a radio show. And she was asked a question by a gay man. He said, look, mother, I'm gay. And she said, what do you mean by gay, son? There's two meanings of it. He said, well, it says in your book that God doesn't accept gays. He says, no, there's two meanings to the word gay. She says, there's actively a thought gay. It's like if you think about being gay, God will not hate you, you'll be accepted by God. That's okay. But if you actually engage and actively lay with a man, maze with a man, well, God doesn't like that. And it's as simple as that. Okay? It's as simple as that. So would you lay with that man, right? That man lays a man against what God wants. Well, you're going to have to do a bit of redeeming. You're going to have to explain why you did that. And you can't say I felt that way, I was born that way, I was sexually that way, because that won't suffice for God, because he knows you're not. You're going to have to repent. Whatever way you're down here on earth, if it's not accepted up there in heaven, you're going to have to repent. And if you repent truly and honestly, you'll still be allowed to go to heaven. But if you want to sit up there and stamp your foot around and think you can change it because that's the way your fucking narrative is, well, guess what? You can be flushed quicker than any fucking shined up turd that ever was. Because God don't fuck around in your bullshit. Right? You can change your own thinking. You can change the laws of the world. But you'll never change God. And you'll never change nature. You try to change nature. You try to manipulate nature. But you'll never change nature. Not in its nature of things. See? It's all coming to a head, guys. Look at the world. Religious wars are starting back up. Identity crisis all over the world. All over the world. With the sexualities. Oh, well. Times are coming. People think like fucking, Jesus is going to walk up around the corner. Like Archangel Live's right here in front of you now talking. You know, you don't believe that, but the government do. But there could be a time scale here, guys. You ever read that book? It's supposed to go through a bit of calamity, a bit of fire and brimstone is supposed to rain down yet, right? And if you read that book properly, how do you know we're not supposed to have a nuclear war and have a nuclear winter for 2 million fucking years before Jesus comes along? How do you know we're not supposed to have that? Because that's the way it's written. You have a look at the Jews, what they're doing now. The Jews have trained their sect up again. They've selected the leader. They're about to build the church. They're all signs of what's going to happen at the end. They're ready to do that now. Because if they're talking about placing this new church that they're going to build, well, they've already selected the leader. They've already trained in the old ways again. They're ready to go. Right? They want to force it on. Right? Bring it onto the world as a control factor, hoping their buddy Satan fucking runs the roost. Because that's who's running them. That's who's running them. Okay? Simple as that. Man's hands are in play here. They can rip this right out of God and right out of Satan's hand and take control for himself. That's the fucking name of the game. You don't just have evil fucking Satan and devils. You've got evil men too and evil women. No one for themselves, greedy. And all just fucking devil work. Devil does three things. Killing, stealing, right? And killing, stealing, and deprivation of the sex. If anything else in society's happened, that's not his doing. That's someone else's doing. That's his three main policies. Deprave the sex, killing, and stealing. That's it. That's his key signatures. Everything else is a product of evil men, or evil women, or evil thoughts, or evil cults, or evil sects, or evil beliefs, or even evil narratives, like the current narrative we all follow now. The fact of the matter is, every single government needs to be toppled. Every single industry and every single rich fucking pharmaceutical factory needs to be toppled, and we need to restart again like Pol Pot did, back at year one, and start all again fresh. Because you cannot fix an industry, you cannot fix a cesspool by going into the cesspool, guys. You're just going to cart and stink of shit wherever you go. Not a single person in that industry or in that government can be trusted anymore, no matter what they say. So you got to no, you don't got to trust the government, right? You know why I say don't trust the government? Because that money in your pocket, this cash money in your pocket, it's not even fucking yours. It belongs to the government. That's why you can't destroy him. Are you really free, or do you have to sign to go out of the country? And then they have to allow you to go out of the country, you know? And then you have to be allowed into another country. There's fuck all for free. Not a thing in this world's for free. They got people sitting there day and night trying to work out how to charge us for everything. Same with this YouTube. Hey, day and night. Anyone sees any of those bloody new AI fucking things where you got those fat people, especially how they're doing black ladies in America at that bloody buffet and carrying on about the food stamps and that. And it's really, I believe it's completely racist. If you see any of them, do what I've been doing. Fucking strike report, because that's just wrong. That's wrong. We can do fat shaming, yes, but not the way they're fucking doing it like that there, because that's very racist. The way they're doing it, the way it's coming to me, is really racist. I'll be barking right up about that. Right? I will be barking right up about it. But I will say one thing, guys. You look how they carry on. Even though they're being racist by doing those AI things, look at how they've got them all carrying on. Because that's exactly how people do carry on. Empowered. Think that they're fucking entitled. Think that their shit don't stink. Think that if they rock up there and they're tired and hungry, that they should be served before anyone else. even though everyone else is standing on a line. Gonna say, I'm hungry, I'm big boned. No, you're not. You're a liar and you're fat. No such thing as big bone. 7 people around the world, 1 person in the eastern states, she's as skinny as a rake. Come up with some more excuses. No, it's like my son. He's 33 years old, a gamer, and he's huge. You know, and he's overweight. When he bends down, he finds it hard to struggle to get back up without falling. And I said, mate, son, I'm a 50-year-old man. I can do squats like that up and down without buddy hanging on there. You've got troubles. You need to do something. Because that's terrible, right? But they live in the world of fucking make-believe, with fairies and lollipops and fucking that they're only little fucking non-binary fucking South Korean little fucking fluffy little fucking white girls. That's what they think they are. They think they're only 4 foot high and weigh nothing, like a feather. Realising that they're fucking 160 kilo man that takes up 2 seats. And they're allowed to fucking carry on like that and get away with that because that's the narrative. Okay? Does that sound right to you? That you've got a fucking man that's clearly fucking 160 kilos thinking he's some tiny little fucking white little Korean thing? Now, isn't that a bit mental, wouldn't you say? Or is he born that way? No, it's mental. Even myself, as a heterosexual, it's mental. But it's more towards what nature and God wants. Well, we're born a certain way. Unfortunately, right, it's not really unfortunate. It's a privilege. It's a blessing. And it's the most fucking powerful blessing that could ever be given to anyone. And that's the ladies, how you can actually carry kids into the world. I know some of you've got the choice to. That's brilliant. That's good. We need that because we've got a bit of a low population going. So it's good that you've got that choice. Yes, your body as well. Right? I don't like this forced breeding shit. That's wrong. Right? So that's good. But, you know, and some of you can't. Some of you might have that, but you might not be able to bear those children, which is sad. Okay? Some might not want to. Fair enough. That's your prerogative. It's your body. But your body is designed to bear children into the world, bear the next generation and bear life. That's a privilege. That's one of the highest, most highest thing to look after and guard and protect and honour out of all the things that we have, right? Because you can actually gestate that life inside you so it can come into the world. Without that, we wouldn't be, you know? And you also run that risk. Still today is the same risk. When a mother gets pregnant, there's a 50-50 chance she'll lose that child, or she'll lose her own life, or they'll lose both their lives during that pregnancy. Of course, it's a bit less now with all the modern technology and everything, you know. But there's still a factor around the world. Not everywhere around the world is like us and got hospitals like us, you know. Some kids are born in creek beds, in the tents, in the houses, and that like that. But remember, it's not like people get a sense of things that the world is like we got running things. It's not. Each country is a bit different. Some of the things are similar. Some things are a lot different. It's like with Indonesia. Well, that's a different ball game over there. And you go up to Bahrain, and you go to bloody all the Arab nations, through the Middle East, and you go all around the world. You go to the bloody North American countries and see all the laws and how they're dangerous. You don't know what happened. You get kidnapped and taken away there. Crazy. Look how the world runs. See, they get everyone looking at this shit, get everyone on his phone, get everyone buying that same McDonald's fucking burger, the same fucking brand new shirt, the same Nike shoes, and they think it's all hooked together, and it's all just a big matrix, right, to fucking cover up what's really going on. That's the world for you. But, as Nick said, you're either going to sit by and watch the world go by, or you're going to find your place and jump on the boat. Well, at the moment, that boat that is fucking sailing on, she ain't got no sails. You know, she's drifting. And I ain't going to jump on a bit of driftwood. Right? At the moment, this earth is a bit of driftwood, drifting through the fucking universal sea. Right? And I ain't going to waste my time jumping on a bit of driftwood. And we've got to spark up things and change things. So that mission I'm doing, as I've just realised how quick Satan can actually take control by coming in and taking things off me, well, my mission has been escalated up. I've got to do that now. Now. So time's coming as now. And if I don't do it the way I want him to do it, and give these things to him so he can hide them so mankind can never ever get hold of them, well, times are coming. I'm going to have to ride that motherfucker. Sorry, that sounds bad, but it's best off me riding it, trying to keep it away from them, but I'll get it. And I'll weaponise it. And that'll be the end of all you. You'll get your fucking death coming. The Bible says he gets on that pale horse and he rides out, right, and death and then all hell follows him. It's because they're fucking chasing me, trying to get it. The whole idea is me to get it and steal it from under them, under their yoke. So the bad guys can't get that one, because Azrael is supposed to ride that motherfucker. He's danger or death, but no one knows where he is. And I know he won't go near that thing. So God wants me to do it. Right? That's why I got this. That's why when they found out and they talked to the federal government, it's actually all official, guys. Right? It's actually all official. I wouldn't be here talking to you now. I wouldn't have got these back. I wouldn't have even had this phone back before the court case come up. That's if even there's going to be a court case. Still a few weeks to go before the second. Okay? I defy logic. A lot of these people look at it and they say, how the fuck are you getting that? It's supposed to work this way, but how are you doing that? See? Because righteousness is on my side. God's on my side. I haven't fucking rebuked any of them. I just got to rebuke them in the name of God. And you watch what fucking happens then. I haven't done that yet. And put the chits up when you say, well, you just don't listen to me, well, I've got those things, you shouldn't have them. Don't blame me if you find out in a couple of days' time that police station is stone cold dead and everyone inside is dead. That's not my fault, but you just blame me for it. They fucking quickly gave them back. Dealing with fucking elements and way beyond their pay grade, guys. Once they seen that government letter and they went and questioned about it and they said, oh, sorry, that's under the Secrecy Act. Sorry, Mr. Akbar, for wasting your fucking time. Looking at me like this here. Right? I know they want to ask to help. That's the thing now. They come at me as a bad way, now they're looking at me like, fuck. I want to sit back and learn more. I want him to tell me more about that story. See, I cut them off. They won't close you now. So the police are very wary, very fucking nice to me now. No, yes, please, not fucking grabbing me like they did. Took me straight up to the med centre, up to the hospital. The old fucking psychiatrist reckon, we fucking hell, we don't want Mr. Akbar, he's not crazy, he's just got a crazy fucking situation to deal with. And they took me over to have a look when I was all fucking busted up and sore fucking, oh mate, I was in pain. The way how tight he put them on, it was way too small cuffs anyways, and fucking this finger started like twitching like a sear going, right on the nerve. And the nurse, well, I happened to be a nurse that I was in there when I had the blood clots, so she remembered me. She said, how you going, Michael? Fucking straight away. And she said, no, that's fucking abuse, that's that. And she wrote me in as a patient, see? Right? And she was marking, I was in the back of the fucking thing, she marked it all, and she wasn't going to release me because she's already got a bed ready for me, see? And now she's in charge. She, nurse supersedes all fucking police and anything that happens then, because now that's her patient, see? Now they got to fucking have 2 guards and that, but they didn't do that. They forced her to fucking sign me out and just drove me straight to the police station and have another go at me in the cells. They just turn the camera off like that one and turn the fucking the fucking watch sergeant turns his back like that. Yeah. Like that. That's how they treat you. Especially when you expose them for not doing their job right, for telling fucking lies and it's actually recorded. You know, telling a father that they haven't found his kid and that father is depressed and he might know, well, I'm not suicidal, but how do they know that? How do I know that fucking I'll go down the road and kill myself because they told me the wrong fucking information when they knew the right information? No, that was easy as them saying, oh, yes, Mr. Ackwell, we've located her. There's been an allegation made. There's going to be an investigation. We'll come and see you later on. But she's fine for now. I would have been happy with the truth, right? Because then I'll be able to explain better. And I know what they've worked out, that the kid wasn't in any fucking distress, right? She just doesn't want to own up for being a naughty little turd. And that's plain out and simple. And because this thing that's going through with the kids now, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. Go online, have a look, put it in. Girls between the age of bloody 8 and 14. See what they're doing to their parents. See how they're smashing the door. You let me in your room now, Mum. No, I'm not letting you in my room so you can steal my money. Yes, you are. You're going to let me in your room and you're going to let me steal your money. That's what this girl was saying. And then you got other ones putting the pickaxe through buddy father's back of his brand new fucking Ford truck. Right? And I actually, funny that one, I actually showed my daughter, I said, you're going to be like that to me? You're going to treat me like this? No, I wouldn't do that to you, Dad. I wouldn't. Nah. He won't hit me with a buddy that there. He would do something fucking else just as stupid. And the kid the lady that she goes around, the big, picks hand, hey, you wouldn't think fucking nothing bloody shit with bloody stinking. I mean, it's got a nice house. But she allows her kid to get away with murder. That kid doesn't have a school record because don't go to fucking school. I want my daughter like she is, dressed in the school clothes going to schools, right? And she lets her daughter go there with knee-high fucking boots on, short shorts and fucking twin-tone fucking hair. Looks like it's ready to stand on the corner with a red light. But if I put that out as a visual thing in front of the judge, I'd be ignored at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually trying to be a parent, right? Not so much the old way. I'm trying to be an actual proper good parent, and I'm not allowed to be. Simply by the way that we have this woke ideology and how it's been enforced into the kids. It wasn't me that fucking lost my daughter. You know? If I would have fucking policed that and kept her off the internet, maybe none of this would have happened. Because, you know, look, Nick, you was talking to herself earlier on this year, and she was saying how much of a good dad I am, and that, because I watched that little replay when she was sitting in the car talking to you by herself while I was out the car, and then you've got all my bloody videos over the year, like in March, I was looking one in March, fuck, we were so happy, Dan, she's happy, and what the hell happened to my little girl in those last few months, you know? Maybe I wasn't paying attention enough because I've been like doing this here. And yes, I do suffer a bit of depression. I sit in that corner there and don't fucking bother nobody. Crazy. Crazy. All because I take a device away, and all because I say, no, you can't go to bloody trick-or-treating. Which she was going to go out with that Ivy 1C, and well, there you go. Crazy. Crazy. Oh, don't worry. She got sorted out. My oldest daughter, Destiny, knows that, you know, Sophia's been telling Furphy, so, like, she's down there. She sorted her out. I wonder how long before we get a phone call and say, Dad, can I come back home? Well, she can't. This is the thing. This is what it does. See, me, I'd have her straight back in a moment because that's where she belongs. She's my daughter. I love her, right? Yes, she's broke my heart a little, what she's done, but I can't be angry at her, right? I can't be angry with the way she is. I mean, I think she likes girls. I've got no problem with that. But I've got a problem with the way they do the ideology towards that, right? You've got to have responsibility. And what they're doing is they're teaching these kids the sexuality and to do whatever they want without the responsibility, guys, before their time's due. Just like Satan with God, right? He wants to rule the roost before his time's due. And that's what they're doing to the kids. Satanistic policy, which is disguised as fucking all good and T-shirts, and this is what we're supposed to do, under the woke ideology, right? That we allow our kids to be whatever they fucking want to be. Do we? When do we say no? Or are we just going to keep saying yes to everyone's fucking ideology, no matter how fucking delusional it is? Comes a time when we have to say no. Simple as that. No more. There's a way of doing things, guys. The way we're doing them ain't the way it's supposed to be done. Everyone is becoming too self-centered. No one takes anyone at face value anymore. Everyone's too worried about their own identity, your own narrative, and your own bullshit. My father was right. He was right after all. He said, Michael, I feel sorry for anyone that doesn't feel the normal way. Even the people that feel the normal way are a bit funny. What doesn't feel the normal way in their sexuality? And I said, why is that? He says, because they pretty much got to think themselves every day. I said, what? He said, you fucking down that. If you're a guy, Michael, and you got a dick, or a dirtle, and you want other guys, or you want to be a girl, and that there, was that naturally how you are, how you look in the mirror? Or is that just what's going on in your head? It's what's going on in your head. Okay? And we've allowed a whole world of people that's what's going on in their head. Not a sexuality. They're a narrative of what's going on in their head. Sexuality is female, male. That's it. Gender, male, female. That's it. There's no other fucking combination. There is none. Everything else is a thought pattern, a fetish, a want. A sexuality is a thought pattern. Not natural, not in any form, not in any way, or any manner. It's thought up. Understand that one? So my old man, when he was right, he was saying, there's always, I thought they have to think themselves. I never really got the concept of that. What did they do? Right? You have to think yourself. Even heterosexual people have to think themselves a certain way. But that's changing. Like if a man, he wants to be more man, well, what? I can be a man. Man up. Be a bit strong, you know. You can't be delicate, written around with a fairy voice and that there and expect to be a fucking strong man fucking presence. And then if you go be at a strong man presence and everything like that there, and you actually do good, you get accused for being a violent cunt. Right? So you can't win in this society. Unless you're going to be a guy that's limp-wristed, doesn't stand up really for your rights, doesn't raise your voice, right? And just going, yes, ma'am, like little Pee-wee fucking Herman. That's the type of males you want. You want them to be cashed up, walleted right up, so you can move in with your fucking shoes on without doing a fucking tap. Expect them to fucking provide a fucking silver tray of light for you. Meanwhile, your nails are fucking that long you can't wipe your ass. Your ass is that big you can't reach around, so you're rubbish to go in the front way around. And that's the wrong way to wipe girls. Why? Because you're pulling it all forward into your fucking vagina. Work that one out. There's a way to wipe your ass and there's a way not to wipe your ass. You work it out what's going on there. How them ones at the shopping centres and that, they're dealing with your fucking food and those fucking nails like that. How that's happening. Where's the hygiene there? What's going on with that one? Or what we like this butt stink. Because of that fucking big burn, they can't smell what's coming out the back. But that's okay. That's allowed to happen, that one. That's just fine. know. Not everyone has to be super fit. Everyone's got a little bit of weight. Me, I got a little bit of weight. But I don't get around thinking I'm some sort of little fucking bantam chicken fairy, thinking I'm so empowered and, oh, no, fucking come on now. Come on. I know I'm a heavy bloke. I know it's going to take a little bit more. I know I expect to pay a little bit more. Right? Because I'm a bigger sort of guy. You go around with a fucking little fucking fake narrative in your head thinking you're some sort of 4 foot tall, 50 kilo fucking South fucking Korean non-binary, and you're 160 kilos, with fucking nails like this can't wipe your ass, and you're big boned. And you're empowered. Can't be fucking stopped. I can't be told. That looks really disgusting, actually. It make me look, I know, while I was looking at that, I'd be thinking, fucking hell, are we really like that? I said, yeah, you really are. And time to wake up. A lot of people trying to wake up how they are, right? We can have a world of tolerance and acceptance, but we don't have this woke fucking world because that's getting your kids, guys. It's all about aiming for your kids. When I was going to school, you know, you didn't really see, you knew what that sort of stuff was, but the sexuality part, you didn't really worry about that until you got to high school, where you started fucking experimenting a bit. These kids got biologically before they even get to fucking high school now. Right? I've been dealing with Sophia for a little while. It got worse when fucking, of course, the mother passed away. See, if it's got both figures in there, you can control that Satan factor, keep that factor out. Family unit's been broken down. Australia wants the family break the family unit down. They love their welfare country. Have a look how the country is built. Fucking on convicts, welfare. One form or another. All the black people, what did they do? Oh, they were flora and fauna. Oh, so we have to turn on them and put them in the welfare fucking thing. You know what? I'll keep attacking my family because of my great-grandmother and my great-grandfather, right? Made them waste all that fucking money, right, and extradite them from one state to another. First time it was ever done in Australia's history, right, of a couple being extradited because he stole a black woman. That's right. Australia's history would carry on that he was a criminal because he stole our property, a black woman. And every black woman under the age of 18 was a property of the West Australian government by the 1901 Aboriginals Act. A slave. Signed off slave. Piece of property. Right? But she was over 18 when he got with her. She was even over 18 when they put her in to the fucking mission system to begin with. So they made a fucking fatal flaw. Or Octavius Neville had to release them. An eighth of that fucking state government's budget. Oh yes, our fucking family name is well going to be remembered. The truth is, my son, he has the last name Harrison, and he doesn't get half the fucking shit that anyone with the last name Akbar gets. Yet we're a blemish they want to disappear, a stain on society's history, on Australia's fucking history. Terrible. The book, Linden Girl, right, when that first came out, that was the big driver for all the Aboriginal movies that come out after. Like the Rabbit Proof Fence, that's the same area, right? And they had 3 books at the time they said we're going to make into a movie. One of them was Rabbit Proof Fence, one of them was Linden Girl, which is the one that started off everyone to start breaking these books about their families and stories, right? And I forget the other one that they ended up making that anyways. That made that 10 Canoes, right? That came up later. And they said they couldn't do the Linden Girl one because that you would have to see a lot of things, you'll see rape and all of that. You'd have to explain what happens, to show you what actually happened, what they actually did to my people. You get a little bit of a in that Rabbit Proof Fence. That was the lesser one. And even then you see the parents getting beaten as they steal the kids and And our own kids got to run away, following a rabbit through a fence, trying to get away from the welfare, trying to get back to their mum and dad. Yeah, that one. Or back to their mum, because what they used to do is they'd go out and they'd kill all the blokes, round up all the women. That's what Satan does. That's what you do when you invade a country. You do it in a Satanistic fashion. You go straight for the women. You get the women, you got the kids, and the men are naturally going to follow. Right? Simple as that. That's the first rule of fucking war and the first rule of Satan. Get the women. Got them under control, that's it. The kids are naturally going to be with the women, and the men are always going to follow. That way we can round up the men, knock them all off, indoctrinate the women, make them think that they fucking know what they're talking about, but we've got them all satanised, fully satanised. Okay? And is that fully satanised that you think what your own thoughts is your own thoughts? Come on now. Like Nick said, men make the fucking rules, Nick. Whose head's on the chopping block, Nick? When the world fucking shits itself, Nick, it looks like these girls are going to get chopped. And then the bloke will be in control forever. Don't you think it's some sort of a fucking little game that they're playing? You know, you think about that. Proof's in the pudding. Qantas Airlines. That CEO was a bloke. They were yelling all kinds of obscenities at him. How he done this wrong. How he run that wrong during the COVID. How he did this. You know how they stopped that? They put a woman in fucking charge as a CEO. She hadn't been asked a single fucking question. I haven't even seen her on, not once. Have I ever seen her on fucking TV since? Because you can't argue it against a woman, see? That's no big no-no down here now, because that's woke ideology. So by using that woke ideology, they stopped all the questions and all the queries about why Qantas keeps fucking up flights. Right? She's not even qualified for that position. They put her there because she's just a pair of tits and ass to shut that fucking questioning up. She's going to run around thinking, I'm this, I ain't that, I'm this smart. No, you're not. Your head's on the block. So when the company gets fucking tax rolled, right, which is going to come while your head's on the block, they're going to blame you as the CEO. And all those men that sign your checks will be laughing all the way to the bank that they own. See? Fucking blind as a bat. You don't see that, eh? You think you've worked your way to the top. You've given it. It's called equal opportunity. Right? If we didn't make equal opportunity and work safe and fucking user-friendly, users would have fuck all. So you've got the semblance that you've got power, and now we're going to let you run around with that. That's what they're doing. They let you run with that because anyone that doesn't really know anything about power and gets a bit of power goes straight to their fucking head. That's why you're all empowered, me, I. And that's a fact. Have a look at it. It's true. I'm not lying. It's a true fact. That's because you've been indoctrinated for the chopping block. Bunch of chickens. Just like that fucking emancipator. That's how they got you. They got you like the RSPCA, got you all fucking tagged up with a fucking special one, plucking out what the ones there, and you's all ready to go on the conveyor belt. Because the world's going tits up. And who's in charge of the world at the moment? Ladies, your head's on the chopping block. You don't even see that. You've been put on the pedestal. You haven't earned that right to be on that pedestal yet. That's why equal opportunity was invented. Work safe was invented. Right? Because if we didn't invent those and put those into play, you would have never been able to get up to any podium. Because you just can't compete. This is a fact. That's why those things were made. Alright? Simple as that. The world stops if men stop diving under the ocean. There's not a one single woman saturation diver. 90% of your internet relies on underwater cables, not your fucking satellites. Underwater cables, right? All your fuel, all your fucking produce, everything, underwater cables, right? These women are not even physically fucking built strong enough to handle the pressure, let alone the actual pressure of being under that environment to begin with. So snap the fuck out of it. You've been put into power because we allow it to happen. Right? And they don't like it, trust me. I don't mind it. I know there's a better way of doing things. We're not doing it quite right. That's why I can see what's been happening. That's why I see these ladies' heads are on a chop block. Okay? Because when the world goes tits up, they can blame you for it. Then they can really fucking have you subjugated for 1,000,000 years. It's what they want. You don't see it like that. By allowing all this fucking happening, allow you to get up to the top, come up with silly ideas that you fucking do, and some of them are so fucking stupid, I wonder if you even hear your fucking self sometimes. It's that ridiculously fucking unthought of. Some of the shit that comes out of people's mouths. Unbelievable. And not just men. Men fucking win. Men been doing it for years. That's how come they're in charge. They've been dribbling shit for years. Talking shit. His story. We haven't heard her story yet. We only heard history. That one. That makes sense to you? That's right. Because it's only what he's written down, what you believe that's happened in the past. Anything a woman writes down, what does a woman know? You know? Think about that. That's the narrative still going now. People, yes, yep. They're playing yes like that, yep. No worries, you're powerful, yep, I do as you're told, ma'am. Yes, I do as I'm told, ma'am, no worries. Oh, guess what, guys? What? Her head's on a chopping block now. So when this company goes tits up, we'll blame her. You don't even see it. Like I said, is that fucking thing that you've got your own positioning, right, for your own work, that you just don't see it. Fortunately, he's going to find out. Unless you start changing now. Unless you actually start having a bit of reverse policy on what you've been doing with the fucking woke stuff. Even guys, a lot of men out there, because you've got all these evil men that are stealing the community's good message. Because some of those people are quite bloody good people. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing other than God doesn't like it and they have to redeem themselves when they go and see God. But we still can do our own thing down here, right? We've got that privilege. That's the whole reason why this fucking war with Satan started up to begin with. Because no one else can except the humans. So he barked up about that. He thought, fuck it, I'm going to deprave their sex, make them fucking steal this and do that, and fucking enslave them for millions of years. And he's fucking been doing it for a few thousand already. Still going. No. Well, it's the Archangel Michael. Had his rant. Obviously, he had a lot to say. He hasn't been on for a while. And yes, I know I might be very hypocritical. And I might be talking about things that are right on people's chests and their minds. But you'll find I have not been sexist. Because there's only two sexes. Right? I've explained the truth as best as I can. I believe in science. And fucking proper ways and methods of working out things. Like the system of education that we've got, or the system of medical that we've got, or even the physical that we've got. If we start denying those things that we have in place, to fucking calibrate and put everything else into a category, and we deny just that so we can come up with the fucking sexuality thoughts in our head to allow a woke ideology, well, what world are we living in then? One of make-believe and delusion. I don't want to live in a world of delusion, guys. We've got a whole system of education in place that we're denying for delusion. A crazy delusion at that. So, you think about that. If we're going to have crazy fucking things like we are with this woke, it's because we allow crazy people to get around. You can't transgender. You can be a lesbian or you can be gay. That's not a problem. But you can never transgender. That's just self-mutilation. But according to the narrative, it's not, but it is. So all the science, all the medical, and everything that we hold dear and true to find out whether something is dear and true, why deny that we've built so long, put in place, so we can actually understand something? Because it doesn't fit what you believe, a narrative, a thought, not a reality or a truth or a fact, a thought. So it's delusional. I refuse to fucking let people be delusional. I'll wake them up to that fact. That big guy cannot come up to me and say, I'm a 4'5", lily white, fucking 50 kilo, non-binary South Korean. I said, no, you're not. You're a fat British man, weighs 160 kilos, wearing a pink boob tube, and you need a clip in the earbud. And I wouldn't let you near my kids, and you shouldn't even be let out the fucking door. In fact, we shouldn't even be letting you breathing with a thought pattern like that. But that's okay. He's allowed to fucking go through life thinking that's what he looks like, that's how much he weighs. Delusional. It's a delusion. You're not born anyway. You fucking learned that. You first got to learn how to crawl before you can walk, guys. You got yourselves coming walking out the womb swinging the fucking cane. I'm this sex. No, you're fucking not. You're a baby that cries. Don't know fuck all what a sex is. You can't even see yourself enough to look in the mirror to see what organ you got. Alright? So until you start fucking looking in the mirror and grabbing down there and working out that you got something there or you ain't got something there. Program, guys. It's not inbuilt. It's not inbuilt. It's just not. The only thing they reckon they could put it down to, but that's a factor in everybody, is the amount of testosterone that you get in the womb. That determines how your DNA is stacked up. Everyone's got the same amount of DNA. There's no special genes. It's just how they're stacked up. Okay? Might be a little bit stacked up different than someone. But that doesn't mean that they're born that way. Just more inclined to be more effeminate in their actions or more aggressive. And that all comes down to the testosterone in the gene pattern, where that fits in and where that stacks up. Right? And that's just it. And that's just it. It's got to do with fucking, the way your fucking genes are stacked up. You're not born that way. No one's born that way. You're just born a little bit more susceptible, or a little bit more effeminate, or a little bit more aggressive, or a little bit more masculine, or more feminine. Depends on depends on that testosterone level you get in the womb. That's all it depends on. Not so much estrogen, just testosterone. That's what it is. Basically what it is. And even that doesn't create the thought pattern. They haven't put that as that. They said it might have something to do with it, but that's the only thing that we can see that's any difference in everybody is the way where that testosterone stacked up in your DNA pattern. There's no sequence like, oh, that's the same sequence there and there and there and there. So that's no. If they can find that sequence, right, when they're doing the testings, then you will find your homo gene. Then you will find that gene that they're born that way. But they don't find the sequence, see? Everyone's fucking different. There's no sequence in it. Right? If you're born a certain way, there has to be a sequence. Right? Like your DNA is stacked up. Everyone's born with a heart. Well, most people are. Right? So there'll be a sequence in your DNA where it's all the same. We've all got a fucking heart sequence. And that'll be mapped across the DNA. You'll see, yep, they've all got fucking human hearts. Right? But no full sequence when it comes to your fucking sexuality or thought pattern is the same when it comes to a DNA. No DNA is the same, see? So we can't be born that way because we're all born different to begin with. see? That's called free will. Right? That's called free will. In all the essence of things, that's free will. And then when you come out the birth canal, you start to learn your environment, where you fit in, how you feel you fit in. No? Oh man, gee. No, it's not just hard for fucking people growing up at times when it was really, really victimised against when you're lesbian or gay. You know, that'd have been pretty tough for some people. I feel very sorry for them. They had to go through that shit. But even just now, your own thought pattern of who you are, I've had a hard time going through that. Not so much with my sexuality, you know. I haven't really been hassled about that. But now I do. In the last 10 years, I get hassled out about being straight. I don't go and push my fucking narrative. I don't go in anyone's face. I just say how I believe. Like everyone should be allowed to have an opinion. Everyone's got allowed to have an opinion, guys. Everyone's allowed to have an opinion. Little Richard said it best in America, especially for America. Right? One good thing about America, even though it might not be right what you're saying, everyone can still have the right to say it. Whether it's right or wrong, everyone still has a right to say something. Right? You don't have that here in Australia. That's one thing they got over us over there. You know, we try to say, you can't say what I want to say. You get fucking locked up. You get fucking put on your own lounge room floor and fucking don't even to ask you why you're fucking there. A lot of it's got to do because I do this online. I didn't even go from my phone. They just kept it away from me so I couldn't get this fucking footage out. Get my message out. They shat themselves when I said I got fucking Jaguar right and Roma and that. And they look, yes, right. They get that message out pretty quick if they really fucking wanted to. How nasty these fucking cops are. Social media, see, that's the only reason why I kept the fucking phone away from me, because I've got a social media. And that's as simple as that. Crazy. Like I said, I got nothing to hide from them. I got 3 naked pictures in there, guys. 2 blonde girls and a brunette on the beach. And they're all adults. So I got nothing to worry about there. I mean, I'm a 50-year-old guy. It's not like I look at them all the time. I just like them ones. I don't know. Something to look at, yes. That's my business. I'm not like that way. But, you know, I've got nothing to hide. Nothing to hide from anybody. I've been very open. A lot more open on my YouTube with you guys and my life than a lot most people have. Very open. People think, oh, that's a bit dangerous, man. No, that's not. I want people to have a full record of me, what's going on, because when it escalates, when you finally see me cruising around with that big 9-ton fucking dragon, right? When you see that, it's going to be exclusive to the world, and you won't be able to unsee it, guys. At the moment, they can hide it away. But my plan in the morning, you're going to have 300,000 people going to work while I'm sitting in the middle of Langley Park with him when the sun rises. Okay? Then the world will know. That's my plan, guys. I'm going to bring something wondrous back to this world. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. And regardless of what happens to me, it's not going to like that. They're going to chase me. They're going to try and fucking chase me. Right? Regardless of what happens to me. Okay? I'll be alright. I will be alright. So, this is the Archangel Michael signing off. I'm glad I kept that mask off, because I'd have been sweating like a buggery. It's still, it's still 27 degrees here. It's 1:30 at night. 27 degrees here at night. It's hotter than some places in the world during the day. That's crazy, Nick. I hope you don't get this here over there, girl, because it's going to be humid as hell. It's crazy. I've got the fan going here. It doesn't even feel like it's on. Crazy. Well, this is the Archangel Michael. He's had enough of his rant. He's sorry if he's upset anyone. He doesn't mean to upset anyone. He's just trying to lay the rules out, trying to make us more aware of what's actually going on. Trying to wake you up a little bit to more the fact before you get too involved in it. Before you don't realise that you're fucking involved in it. Right? The way they're doing things is very shifty, very nasty, and very underhanded. And not a lot of people can see it around the world. They'll shout out, I'm the crazy one. Well, sitting there watching this fucking bit of driftwood go by, I can see all the fucking termites eating it, guys. So I'm not jumping on that boat until I get rid of those termites for you. Then it might be able to take my fucking weight and we'll all float down fucking the river of life together, eh? Because at the moment, I'm actually on the boat and you're on a bit of driftwood and I'm deciding whether I should pull you on the fucking boat of life. Because you're actually drifting away from life, guys, into hell. Right? So I'm not the one that's sitting here watching the boat go by. I'm watching you sink. Okay? I'm watching you sink. I'm not going to jump on a sinking boat because I'm not going to jump on a fucking delusion. It's Archangel Michael. Signing off for now. I hope I haven't been too controversial. I'm back on live again this morning or today or tonight because it's already gone past how long I was going to be, and that's the way you get that. Thanks for supporting me, guys. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for coming and seeing us. Thank you, Nick, because you were the one that bloody knew straight away with that Sophia's gameplay one. You knew that's fucking Archer's bloody daughter's name. You took notice. Someone took notice. It's been hard trying to contact the family using that name. They just look at it like, who are you? It's like, okay, am I being nailed deliberately or just not too sure? So I'll find that one out. Didn't feel good though. Trying to talk to people and just getting totally ignored. I get enough of that in fucking home here. I don't want that online. I'll just go offline altogether and just go and do my little mission. I was almost going to do that. But to get this phone back, I probably would have. I'd thought bugger it. But I'm back. And I'm signing off for now, guys. I will catch you next time. God bless.